Thank you. Well, the latest details now. Leaders say they will pass along some recommendations made in a report about the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police. Our chief investigator, Rick Earl, is live in the studio. And Rick, the police union president, says that report doesn't line up with the reality officers face every day.
Yeah, David, the report claims the patrol unit is, quote, excessively overstaffed. So tonight, the union president wants to know why officers are routinely held over to cover shifts. Meanwhile, the chief appeared reluctant to endorse any of the recommendations. One of the key recommendations, reducing the number of patrol officers by 188. The chief quickly dismissing that.
I don't want to reallocate any patrol operations.
He's also taking issue with another recommendation, reassigning 45 patrol officers to community resource officers.
That's the part of the study I disagree with. That is in direct, conflict on how I believe community policing should look. I believe it should be the responsibility of every officer that's assigned to our neighborhoods.
The chief did say the study confirms 900 officers is the appropriate staffing level. But because of retirements and resignations and no new academy classes in 3 years, the Bureau is now under 800 for the first time in years. The chief saying he will also consider the recommendation to hire civilians to do some jobs.
The men and women that work this job would absolutely disagree with the findings of the report.
Police union president Bob Swartzwelder claims the report doesn't add up. He says because of manpower shortages, patrol officers are routinely held over to work special events and cover shifts. In fact, in the last 24 hours, he says, 22 officers were forced to work 148 hours of overtime. But according to the report, Swartzwelder says manpower isn't an issue.
There's no need to hold people over. There's no need to cancel their days off, and you have plenty of staffing to run your events. So if you don't have enough staffing for Pittsburgh this week, I guess you got to tell Pittsburgh, pack up the pickle from the bridge and take it off, because we're not going to be sending any police down there because we're adequately staffed. So pack up the pickle.
Now, Swartzwelder also suggested that the Bureau should cancel the new academy class that's set to begin on Monday and another this fall because the report says the department is already adequately staffed. The chief, meanwhile, says those classes will go on. By the way, that staffing study cost taxpayers $180,000. Live in the studio this evening, Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.